Okay, true believers, let's talk about X-Men Apocalypse from 2016. Probably the last ever pretty good, in ways, X-Men movie. Well, you know what I'm saying. Does it really deserve the mixed response? I kinda say yeah. Find out right now in this review. Bad days! Entertainment rankings and reviews. So greetings, my fellow YouTubers and true believers out there. And welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Doyle, better known as the Big D. And this time around, I bring to you what is my final X-Men series review, since I've already reviewed last year's Dark Phoenix. It's X-Men Apocalypse from 2016. Directed and produced by Bryan Singer, ran by Simon Kinberg from a story by him and Singer, plus Michael Daugherty and Dan Harris. It's based on the fictional characters, of course. This is the 9th X-Men movie. Now, of course, we have characters from the previous movies back, including James McAvoy as Professor X, Michael Fassbender as Eric Lensher, alias Magneto, Jennifer Lawrence as Raven Darkholme, alias Mystique, Nicholas Hoult as Hank McCoy, alias the Beast. Plus, we have some characters returning after only appearing in First Class. We have Lucas Till back as Alex Summers, aka Havoc, and Rose Byrne as Moira McTaggart. Plus, we have Oscar Isaac, Ty Sheridan, Sophie Turner, Olivia Munn, Carolina Bartzak. Let's see, and I'm trying to see who else was in this. Forgive me, everyone. Evan Peters is back in this as Peter Maximoff, aka Quicksilver. We also had Cody Smith McPhee and Alexandra Shipp. Oh yeah, and we also have Ben Hardy as Angel. Alright. Now this film was pretty good and what have you, in ways. After I rewatched it, it still held up a little bit. I mean, after it became the only flick that used the X-Men music at the end of the 20th Century Fox fanfare. If you heard in my review of the last movie, was used again. As of course, John Ottman returned to do the score for this, which was pretty good. Now, of course, critics praise this film for its themes and acting performances, and I do agree. But the portrayal of Apocalypse, which was played by Oscar Isaac, it was alright, but not good though. And the overuse of CGI and the formulaic nature of the film were criticized. Well, I can understand they did use a lot of CGI, and as for the other one, well, I'd say that's understandable. Alright, okay, that about covers it. Let's get to our story. Now, we start out in 3600 BC. The powerful mutant lord En-Sabah-Nur hailed as a god named Apocalypse, rules ancient Egypt until he is entombed alive by a rebellion. Awakening in 1983, which that's another thing I like about this movie. It took place in the 80s. Yes. Which that's really cool. Anyway. And Apocalypse, believes humanity has lost its way, so aiming to destroy the world and remake it in the image he sees fit, he recruits Aurora Monroe, alias Storm, and upgrades her power. In East Berlin, the shape-shifting mutant Raven, that's Mystique, frees Kurt Wagner, alias Nightcrawler, teleporting mutant, from a cage match with Angel, and requests Black Marketeer Caliban to transport him to America. Apocalypse recruits Caliban's bodyguard Psylocke and Angel, enhancing both of their powers. Alex Summers takes his brother Scott, who of course would gain the name Cyclops, to Professor Charles Xavier's Educational Institute, hoping that Xavier and Hank McCoy will teach him to control his mutation for shooting optic beams after he accidentally uses them in school. Anyway, Scott meets the level 5 telepathic and telekinetic Jean Grey, played by Sophie Turner, who at the time was on HBO's hit Game of Thrones. Anyway, and the two develop in a tragedy. Meanwhile, Apocalypse's powers cause disturbances around the world, leading Xavier and Alex to consult with CIA operative Moira McTaggart, who, as you recall, was erased of the memories of what happened in First Class. But soon, well, I'm not going to get to that yet. Well, she's been researching the legend of Apocalypse and tells them of his origins. He was born millennia ago in Egypt as the first mutant, leading a team of mutant soldiers known as the Four Horsemen, while Apocalypse used his powers of destruction and rebuild. I can understand why they had Angel, because he'd also be a Horseman of Apocalypse Archangel, because I played X-Men Legends 2 Rise of Apocalypse, where Apocalypse was our main foe, but he had some other horsemen like Abyss and others. I forgot their names though. Sorry. Okay. In communist Poland, Eric Linscher, alias Magneto, uses his powers to save a co-worker during an earthquake, prompting local soldiers to capture him. And when one accidentally kills his wife and daughter, Eric retaliates by slaughtering the group. And Apocalypse takes Eric to Auschwitz and encourages him to use his powers. So Eric destroys the camp and joins Apocalypse, who remotely accesses Cerebro, the device Xavier uses to locate mutants, and forces Xavier to make the global superpowers launch their entire nuclear arsenals into space to prevent interference with his plan. Well, Apocalypse and his four horsemen arrive at the mansion and kidnap Xavier. Attempting to stop them, Alex causes an explosion that destroys the mansion. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Peter Maximoff, aka Quicksilver, arrives and, you guessed it, just like in the last movie, uses his super speed to evacuate the building this time. Well, the building. But Alex seemingly dies in the blast. That's another one of my favorite moments in this movie. Quicksilver is at it again, doing all his moves while his speed is in action. We're hearing the Eurythmics, Sweet Dreams Are Made of This. Yeah, that was awesome. Really cool. That was just as good as him doing helping out with the prison escape in the last movie. Really cool. But anyway, Colonel William Stryker's forces capture Hank. Yes, Stryker is back in this. Who, I think he's played by the same guy. Yeah, let me see. Yes, once again played by Josh Hellman. Anyway, Stryker's forces capture Hank along with Raven, Peter, and Moira and take them for interrogation, but Scott, Jean, and Kurt follow covertly and liberate their comrades using Stryker's experiment, Weapon X, who happens to be, hey bub, you guessed it, Wolverine. Yeah, Hugh Jackman makes a cameo in this movie. Anyway, whose memories Jean partially restores before he escapes. Apocalypse, Xavier, and the Horsemen arrive at Cairo. Now then, I'm going to go ahead and get to the final act and the ending to this. So you have exactly 5 minutes to stop this video before I go on. Go to the description box below and fast forward to avoid any spoilers. Here we go. Okay, you've been warned. In Cairo, Eric uses his powers to control the Earth's magnetic poles, causing destruction across the planet. Apocalypse plans to transfer his consciousness into Xavier's body and enslave every person on Earth. He forces Xavier to send a message to mankind, informing them of his plan. However, Xavier secretly sends a telepathic distress call to Jean, as well as ordering mutants to protect humans, and the others travel to Cairo to battle Apocalypse and his horsemen, and rescue Xavier whilst Apocalypse uses his powers to destroy the city, transforming it into a huge pyramid where he would transfer his mind into Xavier's. During this, Xavier loses all his hair, going bald. Yeah, I saw a picture of James McAvoy, well, after he had shaved his head, right, the time this film was about to come out. Yes. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Okay, here we are. When Angel and Psylocke attack the plane, the X-Men's transportation, Nightcrawler teleports them away and crashes the plane, seemingly killing Angel. Apocalypse discovers Xavier rescue, much to his anger. Eric and Aurora are persuaded to turn on Apocalypse, and with the help of Scott, keep him occupied physically while Xavier fights him telepathically in the astral plane. Yes, it's a dimension of the mind, in case you don't know. Because I learned about that from after I played the first X-Men Legends game, where we had to confront another actual entity on there called Shadow King. Now that would have been pretty cool to have this new appear in an X-Men movie, but I doubt that'll even happen unless Marvel Studios decides to do it. In which case, give it a try. That just depends. But again, I doubt it'll happen. But it would be pretty cool, though. Okay. Xavier encourages Jean to unleash the full strength of her abilities, incinerating Apocalypse's body while Psylocke escapes. Yes. After the battle, Xavier and Moira rekindle their relationship. Eric and Jean help reconstruct the school, but Eric refuses Xavier's offer to stay and help teach. Peter likewise decides not to tell Eric yet that he is his son. Yes. Using confiscated Sentinels, Hank and Raven train the new X-Men recruits. Scott, Jean, Aurora, Kurt, and Peter. And that's how the story goes. But then, after our credits are finished, we have a post-credit scene. Men in black suits visit the Weapon X facility to retrieve an X-ray and a blood sample marked Weapon X on behalf of the SX Corporation. Yeah. And that's that. So, what did I think of X-Men Apocalypse? I'm still going to say it's good in ways, but it does have a few misses in my view. But it has more hits than misses. I completely do understand about the formulaic nature of the film and what have you, but I loved it taking place in the 80s and all that jazz. But the overuse of CGI, I could have just kind of landed down a little. And the portrayal of Apocalypse, wasn't really great and what have you. It was pretty cool to have this character in an X-Men movie, but nah. Anyway, the film still did pretty well. It didn't quite open as strong as the last movie did. I was kind of worried because Disney had the nerve of putting their movie Alice Through the Looking Glass that same day. However, unfortunately, that didn't do so well because that got heavily dissed big time. Thank goodness. No offense to everyone who saw that, okay? Not trying to be rude. But anyway, yeah. Now, according to Simon Kinberg, he said that the next film, would be set in the 1990s. That, of course, would be the recent hit Dark Phoenix. Okay, not recent hit because it didn't do so well. When he said separately, said the post-credits scene mentioned the Essex Corporation was related to Logan, which would be released the following year, and that it could have ties to the would have been released or what have you, which we could have still have a Gambit movie as well as the following X-Men film, but he also said he would be stepping away from the franchise of Bryan Singer, but could envision returning later in some capacity. But amidst allegations of sexual abuse in 2017, he was removed from production after being involved in the earliest production stage of Dark Phoenix. And it was a shame, though. Dark Phoenix could have held up, but it didn't. That movie was still good in in ways, but I want to say Dark Phoenix was okay good. But enough said about that X-Men Apocalypse, though. Would I recommend it? Well, I'm going to say, sure, go ahead. Give it a try. And if you're not satisfied, well, I can't say I didn't try. I think it really did deserve the mixed reviews and what have you, like X-Men The Last Stand did. Don't get me wrong, I loved the performances from everyone else here. Like I said, Oscar Isaac's portrayal of Apocalypse, sorry. But everyone else was still good, however. So, with the addition of Ty Sheridan as Cyclops and Sophie Turner as Jean Grey, yeah, that was pretty good. So anyway, X-Men Apocalypse, which just happened to have come to Disney Plus just more recently, is now playing on there. If you haven't seen it yet, I would give you a slight recommendation. Not highly recommend. I almost said that. A factual, yeah, that's it. A factual recommendation to check out just once. And if you don't like it, like I said, I can't say I didn't try. But anyway, that's it. So what are your thoughts on X-Men Apocalypse? Please feel free to tell me in the comment section below. If you like this video, click the like button below. Subscribe to my channel as well and be a part of the Big D Nation. And that'll do it for my X-Men reviews. Don't worry, I will be reviewing the Wolverine movies and the Deadpool movies later on this September during Super September. Okay? Promise. And if theirs will really be back up and going, there's a possibility I might review the New Mutants if they'll really release it, considering they're saying it's cursed and what have you, because it's been delayed, so I'm picking much. A movie being cursed, being delayed. I feel that sounds like a bunch of phony baloney. Or not. Oh well, that's just my opinion. Please don't get mad at me. And if it comes to Disney Plus, fine. At least it got a PG-13 rating. Okay, enough said. Thanks for watching my review of X-Men Apocalypse. If you like this video, check out these other X-Men movies. In the upper left-hand corner is my review of X-Men First Class. The upper right-hand corner is my review of X-Men Days of Future Past. As a little bonus, I will put up my review of last year's Dark Phoenix in the bottom left-hand corner, and the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like hearing rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your man. So until next time, I'm the Big D saying Excelsior! See ya!